Car Ride Conversations.
Politics on both the right side and the left side have become a witch hunt and become a you're either with us or you're against us kind of thing. And for people that are more level-headed and that are more in the middle of the political spectrum, it doesn't do them any service, and it just sows even more discord. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think that social media is a huge part of it. You know, I see so many things on social media that just 100% calling people out, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, if you support Trump, unfollow me, unfriend me, bye, all that kind of stuff. And what's happening is that people are not able to actually have meaningful conversations with people that they disagree with. Because
Can I comment on that real quick too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that's absolutely counterproductive to your mission as a political human. Because if you believe in, say, whatever you believe in, for the sake of example, let's say you have really strong left-leaning political views. Your goal in life is to spread those views, right? You want more people to agree with you. You want those ideas to actually have a meaningful impact in the government. But if you refuse to talk to anybody who disagrees with you, then the only people you're preaching to are the people who already agree with you.
And
so then you're keeping your cult going. You're not actually spreading your supposedly good ideas to anybody else, which is what you should be doing if you think that they're good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, the other thing with that is I think it's incredibly arrogant, because you're really taking the stance that you believe that every single idea in your head is correct, and that no other human who disagrees with you is able to add any meaningful value to your life. And I think both that's absurd. Someone who disagrees with you completely, sure, maybe they're wrong about a lot of stuff too, but they still have something that they can add to your perspective. They can still grow your views as a human and expand your horizons in some way, shape, or form. They may be idiots, but you can learn from them.
Right.
And having that mentality of unfriend me if you disagree with me, it makes it so that you can't learn from anybody because you're unwilling to listen to people who are different from you. And it makes it so that your views are not shared with the people who could probably benefit from them the most.
Definitely.
You know what, though? I go back to I'm not that smart, but a philosophy type view. But I kind of get it. I do kind of get where if you don't agree with me, unfriend me. I don't think like that. But it's to the point where, have you ever heard something so crazy? It's just wow, you're beyond stupid, or wow, you're beyond misled. I feel like I remember during the BLM movement, and people was oh yeah, George Floyd, yeah, you know, it's his fault, and every black person on my timeline was if you think that way, unfriend me, because I will not even give space to even condone foolishness like that. That's just me, because I say, there's points where we're talking about politics and stuff like that, and then there's points where it's just that is just straight blasphemy, and I refuse to listen to blasphemy.
I would draw a line there, because I would agree with you. I think that's a little too far. So I would think the distinction is do they have very specific blasphemy type views, or are they just making a very generic statement quote, I support Trump, unquote. I support Trump versus
George Floyd deserves to die.
Very two different things.
Here's where I would differ from you guys, is that I'm not going to even draw a line. Even if someone says something blasphemous like that, I'm not going to unfriend them or anything like that, because here's the thing. I'm a Jewish person. If there was a neo-Nazi that was telling me oh, all Jewish people are going to go to hell and blah, 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 I'm not going to unfriend him. He's stupid. He's ignorant, but I'm not going to lose my crap over it, because maybe I can enlighten him to not see my people as evil viruses of Satan, or as dirty rats that infiltrate society.
Well, then I applaud you on that, because I'm coming from more of a standpoint where like I said, I'm not going to use no major words, because I'm not good at major words, but a philosophy point of view where you surround yourself by the peace that you believe that you deserve. And if you think that you should surround yourself by people who are neo-Nazis, then that's up to you. I mean, you'll have a lot of stress trying to convince them otherwise. But if you do believe that there's a little bit of hope in converting, where I do believe there's hope in people, but blasphemous views just do not work well with me. And I'm just speaking for my personal self. I do applaud you on that though, like even taking your time. But you gotta remember, are they trying to learn your side, or are they just ready just to tick you off? So that's what I'm telling you.
Even if
I
they're
have
ready
two
to tick
comments
me
on
off,
that.
I'm not gonna unfriend them or anything. Wait, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to have 2 comments on that. Let's see if I can remember both of them. The first one is that I think Gwen has a good point, because like there is some element of like you need to keep yourself sane, and if you're allowing people to have a dominant space in your life whose opinions are not just different from yours, because I don't think that's that important, but like draining to you, then I think that can become a problem at just like a well-being level. If you like constantly have neo-Nazis in your life who say things to you, eventually you're gonna feel a little bit worn down by constantly hearing stuff like that. So I think that's a very valid point. The other thing that I was going to say was the other thing that I was going to say is I do think I would be interested in having a conversation with someone like the examples that you two gave of the neo-Nazi or someone who has that opinion, like that type of really radical, stupid opinion. I think I would be interested in at least having a conversation for the sole purpose of trying to figure out how those views happened. Because it seems to me like no reasonable human would have those views, but right.
I agree.
Have them. So where did this come from? Like, what kinds of things were you taught growing up? What kind of reasoning is happening? What chemical reactions are going on to make it so those words come out of your mouth? Let's figure this out. That's what
I agree, because it's like it could not always be that the person who truly hates, it's just the community he was surrounded in. So I agree with you, Solomon. And I'm a dude who loves like superhero movies, and Batman never gives up. So if we as humans had the same mentality as Batman, life could somewhat go easier.
That's fair, yeah. What about you, EJ? What are your thoughts on all this? I will say I was gonna say something. It was like it's this phenomena called a yes man, and I feel like both political parties have started this, where it's like you alone are not going to do something dumb, but if you have like your friends or your bros or your yes men being like, oh yeah, bro, like go ahead, like hyping you up, then you're going to do something like that.
And it works because if you surround people, they aren't your true friends. You have to have friends who are going to help you. You know, if you surround yourself with yes men, you're gonna make bad decisions, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna always say yes. You know,
truth will
always give you, will not only praise you, but they'll also criticize you, and they will critique you. And you being, you know, and I know this from you, because if I were to critique you and say I disagree with this, you know, or I think you're wrong here, then, you know, we can debate. You know, there's no shutout, you know, necessary or whatever, because, you know, I'm not going to be your yes man. I'm going to criticize too. I'm also, you know, I'm going to say, well, this might not be good because of that. And that's a real problem with the parties, like you mentioned, because bad decisions are just going to happen because all they do is say yes, 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 you know.
That's true.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Car Ride Conversations, the Everything Show, aka CRC. Follow us on Instagram at CRC__official, and subscribe to the YouTube channel to never miss out on another episode. Thanks, guys. Peace.